In 2007, the Stop Immigration Act was passed, halting all new immigration to the United Kingdom. Anti-immigration campaigners, buoyed by a groundswell of discontent at rising unemployment, lack of housing and social division, had pressurised government ministers to act. 10 years on, in 2017, there's been a remarkable turnaround in attitude towards immigration. It soon became clear that there were serious social, economic and cultural losses as a result of the immigration ban. People started to reflect on the important contribution that immigrants had made to the UK in the last 500 years. A new campaign emerged, calling for the restoration of the United Kingdom as a host nation once more.
With the new immigration law, we've cleared the way for the UK to welcome new waves of migrants and to restore Britain's diversity. She shall become the mother country once more.
Is this realistic?
It is not only realistic, but I believe crucial.
Well, I believe that people looking back into the 2007 Immigration Act will see it as a significant turning point in the history of migration to this country. For the first time in over 500 years, the flow of people into this country will have stopped. No more Windrush, no more welcome to the mother country, no more Mother Seagull or Marcus Garvey, no more Bangla towns or Brixtons. Let's think about this. The Romans, the Celts, the Angles, the Saxons, the Vikings, Normans, Jews, Huguenots, Irish, Scottish, Welsh, Africans, Indians, Pakistanis, Bengalis. People have been coming to this country for centuries. More than any other country in Europe, if not the world, Britain is a multicultural society. Dare I say, a nation of mongrels, a true melting pot. And then it all stopped. We were full. Ports were closed, visas were refused. No more. Finally, the tabloid campaigners that had been raging relentlessly for many years had got their way. But it became clear very quickly there are some serious consequences to this policy. Britain has not been able to compete as a result of the significant shortfall in the workforce. Britain has lost the colour and diversity that immigrants brought to these shores, and we have now seen the emergence of a coordinated campaign to overturn this act.
Yeah, Arsenal, what is it like? There used to be so many foreign players, weren't there? Who was there? Toure, Henry, Vieira. Yeah, what happened? Overseas restrictions. I mean, what's that all about? It's nice back to boring Arsenal, isn't it?
Well, to be honest with you, it's a joke, do you know what I mean? When my brother was a kid, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, everywhere's open, gets a kebab, fags, whatever, ain't no problem. Now, it's dead. Come out at 4, nothing's open. What's all that about, do you know what I mean? I think it's a necessity, but obviously some people don't think so, you know what I mean?
I mean, my younger son, he had an ear infection and we were waiting in casualty for 9 hours because there were no nurses. 9 hours. It was unbelievable. And my other son, at school, they were left unsupervised for a whole lesson because there were no teachers, no supply teachers either. Don't get me started.
We're talking about here is a long-term impact on the economy. It's not something that will be immediately evident after legislation is changed. So what we actually had is a year or two of relatively good performance immediately after the legislation was changed, whereby actually most people felt more confident with their jobs, partly as a result of the lack of fear of competition for their work. However, relatively quickly, 2-3 years down the line, we actually began to see quite a negative impact in terms of a shortage of skilled labour, leading of course to the 2009 stock exchange crash. Since then, however, in recent months, now that we've had speculation of the legislation being changed back again to allow immigrants into the country, and with it the skilled labour force that I was referring to a moment ago, actually the stock market has begun to perform slightly better again, and we're seeing a recent buoyancy in the market as a consequence of that.
The birth rate in the UK is one of the lowest in the whole of Europe. Now, this poses a problem for the working population, because if the status quo continues, we might not be able to maintain the current level of social security and pensions for much longer. And you have heard the people interviewed in this film. Britain is not only ready to act as a host nation once again, it demands it.